Hi Anna, how are you today? Can you hear me okay?
Hi,
Hi. How's it
morning.
going? How are you?
Good. How are you? Sorry, it was running a little bit late.
Oh no, you're good. Actually, I like was logging in and my puppy all of a sudden was like, I have to go out. So I was the same. I was like, rats. Aw. Well, how did your show go? Tell me,
Um,
how did all of that process go? What did you feel like you learned and grew from that experience? What were some of the things that maybe were challenging from that?
um, it was really good. It was definitely I was also in charge of props, so I like co
Oh,
and then I was also like five different ensemble roles.
oh
So I think the
wow.
costume changes were fun and also just like people my
Yeah.
age, like almost all of the leads were sophomores. So it
Yeah.
was kind of like a little bit hard to see that, but it was also I know that was a lot of pressure for them and the people that got it I was really good friends with and were really good fits for the roles. So
Yeah.
it ended up being a really fun show and like the costumes
Yeah.
things. So
Mhm. Well, sometimes, like you're saying, you said they were like a really good fit. That happens sometimes where it's like the person, you could have had an amazing audition, and maybe somebody else just is a better fit for that particular role and what that role needs. I've had that where I was casting before. Um, and I know that this one girl in particular was so good. Her audition was amazing. Um, and I was really like, she could play literally any character in the show. But then we had people who were kind of niche, and it was like they really could only play specific things. And so I know she was disappointed with the role she got. Um, but it was, I mean, she was so good. It was just like other people kind of fit certain characters like a glove. And for her, it ended up being like we didn't have anybody who could play a certain role. So we had her play it. But I know she was a little disappointed. And so sometimes like casting is hard like that, where it's like you have people who fit something just like really, really well to a T. And then you have, people who auditioned really beautifully, but where it's like you kind of just have to find a way to use them the best that you can based on like the whole show, as a, full picture. Um, and there will be shows though that it'll be like you audition and it'll be like, oh my gosh, she is perfect for this particular role.
Mhm.
So sometimes that happens where it's like you audition really well and you still don't get what you hoped for. I remember in college, I was assisting with a show. I wasn't in that particular show. And this one girl, she had an amazing audition. Like she was the best person who auditioned, but she didn't get a role at all. And I talked to the director about that and was like, why didn't you find a place for her? And they said, well, this show is really specific about what you need for each character. And they were like, this character has to be really tall with like fair hair, and this character has to be really short with dark hair. And like, so there were very specific things in the script, and it just like didn't work out like that she fit any of those. So even though her audition was amazing, it was like she just didn't quite fit anything that the script was asking for. And it was, unfortunate. I know she was disappointed, but she was truly fabulous. I mean, her audition was stellar. So she definitely should keep auditioning because she was fantastic. But that will happen sometimes, and you'll be disappointed, but um, it just kind of depends on, that production and what it calls for. But it sounds like it actually was a really good challenge for you. And it actually sounds like you kind of acknowledged too, you were like, it was a lot of pressure on them to, step up for these roles. But then even what you had, doing props, that's learning a new skill. And then you also were in the ensemble, which I feel like is very challenging, because like you said, you're having to, it's like you have to sing and dance and act, and you're changing characters constantly, and you probably have costume changes, and it's just like a constant, like, hustle to change into a new character. So I think that there definitely are challenges with that too. And it's very impressive if you can do very well in a role like that and stay on your toes. Um,
Uh, It was
and then they feel like, they can trust you with a bigger role in the future.
Yeah, it was fun and it was cool because like I had like 6 lines because being like a tree was like kind of like a special featured thing.
Okay.
I had like 6 lines for that and I got to sing with that. So it was fun to be able to like
Nice.
have the be in the quartet of like the trees and so it was fun
Aw,
to like, have my own features, but then I was also like
nice.
and then I was like in the Lullaby League for the Munchkins
Oh,
and
yeah.
a lot of dancing. So it was really fun. And I think I
Oh,
definitely became a better
awesome.
dancer through that, which I definitely want to do too.
Yeah. Well, then you probably had some fun, like it sounds like you had some small ensemble parts too, where you're learning some like different layers and harmonies and like singing as a small ensemble, which is another good challenge. And then, like you mentioned, the dancing is another good challenge. So it sounds like you had some really good features throughout the show. And I mean, those are a good responsibility too. And I mean, I've been to shows where honestly, like I thought some of the people that were a smaller role that was a feature, I went, wow, like I think they were the best person in the show. Like that they just stole the show, like and were amazing and really lit up the stage. So if you do really well with something like that, then they'll remember that in the future and go like, oh, I think we could, trust her to do a bigger role. And then they'll, promote you to bigger responsibility. I also know sometimes, if people audition who do a really great job, but they maybe don't have a ton of experience in larger roles, it'll just make people a little nervous to put them in a larger role because they're like, I'm not sure if I should put that much pressure on them. But once they know you and have worked with you, they're a lot more likely to, rely on you to carry something a little bit larger.
Yeah, and it's really fun and I really like my director and this is my
Nice.
I'm currently in another show actually and I got a really good role, which I'm really excited about.
Yay.
We're doing Sherlock
Congratulations.
Holmes. Thank you.
Okay.
I got Ginger. Um
Yay. Oh, that's
and
awesome.
quite a few lines and I get to like it's just a really fun character. It's pretty small, but I it's kind of like a big deal, I feel like. And there were like half of the people that auditioned had to get cut, and a lot of the people that got casted were people that had done theater before. Except for the guy who got casted as Sherlock Holmes, he had never done
Yeah.
theater before. And so he got casted as Sherlock Holmes, but then he like had done other things like crew in the past. So
Yeah.
it kind of depends, but it's a really fun group and it's been a really fun like rehearsal so far. So I'm very excited about that.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm so excited for you.
There's also this like singing part where she's like in adding in this thing where we like act out street performers. And there's gonna be like a screen quartet, and then like 6 or 5 people got chosen to do that, and like or there were 5 people that were interested, and so we worked it out. So I'll be singing a high harmony for part of that, and then also singing along with melody. So I'll be one of the 5 singers for that too. So I do get to do a little bit of singing in that, which I'm excited about.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome. Great. So it's a little bit more acting heavy,
Mhm.
which is great. You can work on that skill, building that up, but you also get to use your musical skills as well, which is awesome. That's great. I love that. Yeah, it's always fun when they find a way to use your special skills, that you're like, hey, I have these special skills, and then they work that into the show.
Hmm.
Very cool. Oh, that's awesome. Well, congratulations. How exciting.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that through your school as well?
hmm
Okay, cool.
yeah.
It's great to hear that you have a director that you really enjoy working with and that you feel like, you can grow with and feel like they're somebody that creates an environment that, frees you to be very creative and try things and that it's, a comfortable environment to grow in that, because being creative and acting and performing it is kind of intimidating. So having someone who gives you that safe space where they can give you challenges and responsibilities, but then they also allow you to kind of like stretch a little bit and be creative and explore. I think it's a really nice balance when you can find someone that you can work with really well like that. That's awesome. Awesome. Okay. So as we are coming into a new year for singing, have you thought about the things that you would like to really focus on improving this year, the areas you'd like to grow in? Um, I know, this semester we'll be leading back up to like auditions for the chapel band, things like that. Um,
Mhm.
have you thought about what you want to be working towards in the future?
Well, definitely just like um well, I like blinked for a second. Um, Definitely like belting and just like all the
Okay.
musical theater, Broadway quality stuff.
Yeah.
I still haven't talked to my parents about this, but I want to maybe audition for eventually a couple shows at Summer Stock Stage because
Yes.
theater are doing that, and so I definitely want to like look into that.
Yeah, that would be
So
awesome.
yeah, and so I want to look into that, and I also have an audition actually coming up that I was hoping on working on with today. It's the Broadway Night
Okay.
Solo,
Okay.
and I'm auditioning with a solo version of I See the Light from Tangled. So I was
Okay.
wondering if we could maybe work on that today, because that's definitely something I'm working towards.
Sure, absolutely. That's a beautiful song. Awesome. Um, I'm curious, was there a particular reason you chose that song, or is it just a song that you really liked?
Um, yeah, my director, it's kind of there's been a lot of challenges with her this year. Um,
Oh,
but it's a different one than like my theater director. So, but with my choir director, she's been just like she decided that the theme had to be like biblical, so she made it based on creation, which is kind of
okay.
interesting, but she wanted it to be based on like Genesis and so or just like a biblical theme.
Mm.
So I was thinking like light could be like that, and then also because I know that it fits my voice pretty well. So I was
Yeah.
thinking, I was like, I want to do a solo, but I don't know what. And then I figured that out, and I was like, wait, that would be good.
Ooh, okay. Nice. Love it. Yeah, so I just wondered if you had kind of like explored like how you landed on that. That's awesome. Very cool. Yeah, it sounds like you did kind of like think about what would really fit for the audition. That's great.
Mhm.
Nice. Okay, very cool. So let's go ahead and let's dive into your singing. So tell me, um, for this, have you sung today? Do you feel pretty warmed up right now? Do you want to dive right into the song?
Could we maybe do like a short warm up?
Sure, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, just to kind of like brush off the dust a little bit. Like if you sang earlier today, it might be good to just kind of, wake it back up, warm it up a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't
Okay.
seen today, but so whatever you think would be best.
Sure. Okay. Great. All righty. So let's descend first. And let's start with just a nice little sigh there. So we're gonna do a ah, just a nice little ah, sighing down. Exactly. Yep. So we'll slide into the lows, breathing in. Ah,
Uh,
ah,
uh,
ah, ah, ah,
uh,
ah,
uh,
ah. Ah,
uh,
ah, 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 ah. Ah, That's pretty low. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to
Sure.
go up this time. Let's try. Let's slide from E through A up to A, back through A to an E. So that's going to sound like E, O, E. All right, 1, 2, here we go. E, O, E. E, O, E. E, O, E. Excellent. Let's go ahead and we are going to do a sigh back down. So give me a ah.
Ah.
Awesome. Okay, beautiful. All right, so then let's go ahead and we're going to try descending on a scale. Let's do this one on the VVVs. So let's go, we'll start more in the mixy range, a little bit higher, and we'll work down. So let's go V, 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 V. 1, 2, ready, and V, 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 V. V, 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 V. V, 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 V. V, 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 V. V, 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 V. V, 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 V. V, 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 V. V, 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 V. V, 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 V. 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 All right, let's go ahead and move back up. And let's do this on Scooby Dooby 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 Doo. All right, 1, 2, here we go. Scooby Dooby 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 Doo. 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 All right, awesome. Let's go ahead and we're gonna sigh back down for now. Awesome, beautiful. All right, so then let's go ahead and we're gonna try descending on the pui pui pui. So a little bit brighter, more forward for this one. We're gonna go pui pui pui. Oops, pui 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 on the arpeggio. 1, 2, ready, and pui pui pui. 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 That's pretty low. All right, so let's go ahead and we're gonna move up again on a nice smooth arpeggio. This time let's balance that with a little warmth. I feel like this is a song that has a good balance of the warmth and the brightness. So let's try this on ooh, oh, ah, oh, ooh. Let's also add a consonant there. So let's do coo, ko, ka, ko, coo. All right? Breathing in. Coo, ko, ka, ko, coo. 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 Coo, ko, ka, All right, let's go ahead and sigh down. Ah.
Ah.
Nice. All right, beautiful. All right, so I would love for us to switch over to the song. How have you been working on it on your own?
I actually haven't done that much.
Okay.
Um, my accompanist that like is with my choir is going to accompany me on my audition. So for
Okay.
now, I think that I can just practice with the karaoke.
Sure,
I'm
absolutely. Yeah.
sure, like if she wants me to sing the whole song as a solo or just like part of it and kind of adapt it. But I definitely
Yeah.
do some note changes to make it like more up there to like be more of a solo since there's
Yeah. Yeah, I think for now that's perfectly fine. I also think that eventually um we might want to work on it more as a with like piano instead, like a piano accompaniment. Um so this video has it with piano, but then it also has lyrics. Just because sometimes like when you're listening to the orchestration, it can kind of throw you off. So I just want to be sure that you at least are listening to some with just the piano version. Um,
Mhm.
just so you know what to be listening for. I
Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
think also we had worked on this like a while back, and didn't your dad play for you?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
maybe
I
you could practice with your dad as well.
hmm
I think that would be a good idea to see if he could practice with you with playing piano just so you get used to that because it is a little bit different. It just feels a little bit different. So, yeah.
Okay. So should I go ahead and
Yeah, I just want you to go ahead and sing through it one time, and I'm just gonna listen, and just kind of see where it's at, and kind of how you're approaching it as a solo version, because we had like, um, hadn't we worked on like some harmonies and things with your dad, I think. So yeah, working on it as a solo version. Probably this song is a little bit longer. They'll probably end up wanting a cut of it, which I think is perfectly fine, but we can definitely work on the whole song for now. Great. So just go ahead and sing through. Let me hear it, and we will go from there.
Okay, sounds good. Stays watching from the doors, all those years outside. All that time, never have kissed night dive. Now I'm here, blinking in starlight. Now I'm here, suddenly I see. It's all so far. I'm meant to be. Last I see the light, and it's like God has lifted. Last I see the light, and it's like the skies. It's and the world has somehow once everything stopped that I see.
They might cut some of the instrumental for the audition.
Kind of long.
Yeah.
Stays chasing down a daydream. All those years living in a blur. All that time, never truly seeing things the way they were. Now he's here, shining in the starlight. Now he's here, suddenly I know. Still please hear its crystal clear, like bright into still you see the light, and it's like the flag has lifted, it's like see the light, and it's like the sky is blue, and it's blue. And the world is somehow shifting. Once everything's different, and all the see. I see.
Oh, wonderful. That's a beautiful start for us today, diving into the song. All right, so what did you like about it? What felt really good about it?
I think I was able to get the good mixed like tone well.
Yeah.
Do you think I should stick with the key change and keep it as it is?
Um, I mean, depending on how much of it they want, they might end up cutting either the first part or the last part and just have you do half of it. Um, but I do think that doing the key change shows that you have that ability to stick with it while it modulates and moves to another key. Um, so it is kind of an impressive, thing to showcase that it's like, I know where to be when the key changes. So doing that transition, I think, is a positive thing to have in there. Um, I definitely think the pianist will cut down on the interlude, but for the time being, just breathe and stay in character, but you can figure out together. Because I usually would cut it down to like 4 bars instead of like a 16 bar interlude. So I usually, if I was accompanying, would cut it down as well. But especially since it's an audition.
Yeah. I might also like I think I might change it. I'm trying to decide between like he's because it says like if she's here, but I might just
Oh
say like
yeah,
you're here, but I don't know if that has
sure.
a meaning to it since I'm kind of singing it to the person and it's like a love song. So I
Yeah.
bet I really just change those lyrics a little bit.
Yeah, you could say now he's here, now you're here. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, those
But
little tweaks are that's fine because I mean, yeah, I mean, since it is written as a duet where it's, a guy and a girl, I think you can adjust a little bit and it's not ever a problem to like tweak the words slightly, especially for an audition setting.
yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, it felt really good. I think it's fits well, and I think it's good that I was able to hit those notes. I'm actually a soprano one in choir now, so
Woo, exciting.
that
A good new challenge. I love it.
I've definitely been able to challenge my range a little bit more. Right now, since we're just singing like the Broadway songs that go with this same concert, it's
Yeah.
not as hard, but I think it's getting more challenging, and the more songs that we add in, the more like challenging notes is. So it's been really fun.
Yeah. The more you have to be able to stretch and sustain up there.
Mhm.
Aw. That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, you've had a lot of really good new challenges this last semester. I'm just so excited for you. I think it's a
Yeah.
very positive thing, that you're stretching yourself in so many good ways. And it sounds like you're really enjoying the new challenges, which I'm so excited for you. I agree. Yeah, the upper, you're feeling like those notes are feeling stronger. And part of what makes them challenging is that it's sustained up there, right? Like we have to hold those notes out. And that makes it more challenging for sure when we're having to sustain and hold it out. So yeah, so you're feeling a lot better with that support, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, awesome. I was thinking, I think it would be good to work through this just on an exercise where we focus on the breath, just because it is these really long legato phrases. And like, when you go to the high and you're holding out, just having a really, really strong connection with your breath is going to give you more power. That's what's going to give you that oomph, underneath you. Um, so I was thinking, let's do on VVV. Every single note, every syllable, you're gonna have its own V. So V V V V V V V V V V V V V V, right? Every single note's going to have its own V. Every note, then you're going to be reconnecting with that diaphragm engagement. As you sing through, I want you to think about keeping that rib cage lifted throughout. So, um, you're gonna V V V V V V V V V V V V all through the phrase. Try to keep that lifted, and then you can reset when you prep for the next phrase. Um, Try to keep that open and really rely on that diaphragm connection, that low core connection. And that's going to give you more of that richness and fullness, especially up in those higher notes. Um, so on VVV, connecting with the breath. With these V's, don't think like super wide and bright, like hi, like that kind of a sound. We're gonna think a little more just like pinched in the corners. V V V V V. It'll give us that brightness, but also a little bit of a warm tone with it. Can we try
Okay.
that?
Mhm.
Great. Okay, good. So how did the breath and the vocal tone feel different there?
I think it definitely challenged it to like have more support, and it kind of helped me realize how much support I really need.
Yeah, the even just having that awareness, right? It's like, oh, okay. So yeah, it's like, oh, I need more than I thought I did. Yeah, awesome. Good. So I'd love for us to go back through again on the words and try to remember that feeling of that engagement with your core and with your breath and utilize that when we have the text. Okay?
Those days watching from windows, all those years outside London, all that time, never even knowing just how blind I've been. Now I'm here, drinking in starlight. Now I'm here, suddenly I see standing there. It's all so clear. I'm where I'm meant to be. And at last I see the light. And it's like the fog is lifted. And at last I see the light. And it's like the sky is snow, and it's warm and bright, and the world has somehow shifted all at once. Everything's different now that I see. Those days chasing down a daydream, all those years living in a all that time, never truly seeing things the way they were. Now he's here, shining in the starlight. Now he's here, suddenly I know. If he's here, it's crystal clear. I'm where I'm meant to go. And at last I see the light, and it's like the fog has lifted. And at last I see the light. It's like the sky is blue, and it's running real and bright, and the world has somehow shifted. And at once everything's different. I see that I see.
Nice. Okay, good. How'd that feel?
It felt really good. I had trouble hitting some of like the higher notes, but I can keep working on that. But overall, it felt really good and like it had good support.
Do you think that was just the changing of the shape and like the timbre?
Yeah, I think it might be. I think I'm wondering if there's a way that I could do a note change where it still sounds like just as impressive, but instead of it's like up there, because I feel like to get up there, I'm having trouble not just sounding like I'm like
Yeah.
world
Oh,
singer.
for sure. Like especially with it being the duet, like you could choose to go like instead of like, and it's like the sky is new. You could do, and it's like the sky is new. And it's warm and real and bright. And the world is somehow shifted. You could just take the lower harmony, like because they kind of they move so well together and it's gonna still sound like a melody. They're both really a melody, but they're melodies that work so well together that they're both in harmony, you know? So I think you can just choose which to follow.
Mhm.
Overall, though, I think the clarity and the presence and like richness of the sound was definitely there. It felt much more like like uh solid, I guess. Before it felt a little bit um just like a little fuzzier around the edges, I guess. So it to me it felt a lot more um like it had this presence to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think it felt good.
Yeah, yeah, it sounded really good. Um, yeah, I know what you mean. There were a couple spots where it just sounded a little uncertain. It didn't even sound to me like you weren't hitting the notes or like they didn't sound good, just like you were a little uncertain in the approach to them. So I think it's more of when you have those higher phrases, when you breathe in, preparing the space. Because we do have to have a little bit taller space. So if you think instead of like an E space, think of going more towards an A or an A space. If you did like that's much more open. And then it's not going to feel so tricky navigating up there. So, like, even though the phrase is starting lower, breathe into a more open space. Like, think of an ah and breathe into that shape. And then sing through that phrase with that more open space than like an E space.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay, good. Awesome. All right. So, I was thinking maybe just doing the last half of it on this exercise where when you're low, let's sing on E, but when you transition to the higher notes, let's switch to an A or an A and feel how the shape and the space adjusts when you go higher and lower. Because when we're lower, we want to be a little more closed in our shape because that's going to help us with clarity. When we go higher, we have to open more with our shape because otherwise we can't hit the notes and we'll be a little bit flat or it's going to feel a little strained. And so we want to open more at the top. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
great.
so few words
So
in there.
like Hey, hey, kind of like that, where you're just like morphing the vowel as you go high and low.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good. How did that feel?
Felt good. It felt like the vowels like helped with hitting the notes better.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. Beautiful. Good. So I want to try just this second half again on the words. every time you take an inhalation, think about the highest note of the phrase that you're about to sing and breathe into the open space you need for that highest note. So if you're like, so you're in your brain thinking of that high note as you breathe in. Um, so try that now on the words, that second half.
Okay. Those days chasing top daydream, all those years living in a blur. All that time, never truly seeing things the way they were. All he's here, shining in the starlight. Now he's here, suddenly I know. If she's here, it's crystal clear. I'm where I need to go. And last I see the light, and it's like the fog has lifted. And unless I see the light, and it's like the sky is blue, and it's real and bright, and the world has somehow shifted. At once, everything is different now that I see you. Now that I see you.
Nice. Okay, good. So how did that feel? What felt different there?
That felt better. I was trying to like do some note changes and then sometimes it backfired, but
That's
um
okay. Yeah, I noticed you were kind of experimenting a little bit, which I think is good. You know, we're still figuring things out there. So I was like, that's perfectly okay. You're just trying some things, and that's part of the process. And we see what works and what doesn't, and we figure it out. So there might be some wobbles or fumbles there, and that's okay.
yeah, but other than that, like the breathing in and the shape of the vowel really helped a lot. And just like
Good.
even just like picturing that and focusing on that and the breathing in was really helpful.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. Good. So, what would you say from what we've done so far? What would you say are maybe the key components that have been helpful and that you're like, I gotta remember this?
Definitely the breath and the shape of the vowel, and probably just I think the shape of like being, I feel like I was able to be bright while also having a kind of pinched in corners, which is something I feel like I've been trying to do for a long time. So I feel like that felt
Mhm.
really good. So just like
Good.
a pinched in corner, not like a completely young, but like
Yeah.
been kind of more imagining it than keeping it in, and the picturing the rib cage, or just actually lifting your rib cage when
Hmm.
you are singing.
Nice. Good. Yeah, a lot of good like key bullet points to remember. What would you say was the time you sang through it or like a spot that just felt really good?
Probably just now when I was singing like the chorus, but I feel like mostly it was the verse and the towards and the biggest part of the chorus this past round felt really good.
Nice. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Awesome. And then what would you say was maybe a moment where you were like, okay, I'm making progress. Now I have to be sure to like continue that progress, continue reinforcing that this week.
The higher parts, because they felt better, but like just like having that solid thing and figuring out the note changes and all those things.
Yeah. Okay, good. Awesome. Great. And then for this week, what do you think would be a good practice plan diving in?
Um, well, I did want to talk to you about like the future schedule
Oh,
too.
sure. Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I was wondering if we could stick to either like once or twice a month, if that would be
Yeah,
okay, since I'm like
absolutely.
very busy, and that way we could stay more consistent even during.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Um,
Mhm.
I think we had talked about possibly doing every other. Do you want to do the same time each week? Like, do you have a certain like day or time frame that typically works better than others?
I will have to look at that.
Right. Yeah. Look at the schedule. That's perfectly fine. So why don't we just say, so if we, right now it's the 22nd, so we'll try to meet again in February, maybe like that first or second week. And if you just want to maybe look at, because I know you've got like other things going on with rehearsals and whatnot and in church and different things. So just kind of checking the schedule. And if we need to do a weekend, that's okay too. So just let me know. I'll make a note just to check back with you that first week of February. Um, and we'll figure out, what we want to do for February. Sound good?
Yes. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay,
Cool.
thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. All righty. I put it on my calendar, so I'll check back in with you the 1st of February and we'll get you scheduled, okay?
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, awesome work today. That was really good progress. I was very excited with what I was hearing. I also feel like, just like in these last few months, I feel like your voice has matured a little bit too. Um, as we're aging, all through life, your voice is going to change. But you went through kind of a stretch where I think your voice was growing, and so we can go through times where it's like because the vocal folds themselves are still in that growth process and like with different hormones and things, they don't always do exactly what we want them to do. And I feel like they've grown a bit and like it sounded like you had more control over them and like they were listening to you a little bit more. Because I know there were times where like you were doing the techniques I was giving you, but it still was a little airy sounding, which wasn't your fault at all. It was just where you were in that growth process. And with the adduction, if one's a little bit longer or thicker than the other, they don't line up perfectly evenly. I know
Mhm.
that was kind of frustrating to you. But I felt like today when what I was hearing, I was like, oh, I think like the vocal folds have grown a little bit more and like worked through that kind of awkward patch of time. So yeah, I was very excited to hear that because I know that was kind of a frustration for you where you were like, oh, I can't get them to do what I want. And
Yeah.
that'll happen sometimes at different phases of life. So I feel like we're kind of over a little hump there that was a frustrating hump, which is just very exciting to hear. So yeah, I think it was a little bit easier today to like find the clarity in the tone that we
Mhm.
struggled with a little bit before. So that's awesome. So yeah, you're through that little, struggle bus little time frame.
Yeah.
Because you were like, why can't it wasn't every day even, it was certain days. So yeah, it's just like the hormones and the growth process, and it's very normal. And people always talk about like guys going through that process, but they don't talk as much about girls going through that process. Guys have a little bit more like they'll have like cracks and breaks and like squeaks more. And then girls usually have more of like your voice will get really like airy and breathy. So it's just like a different, thing that your body is navigating through. But I felt like today I was like, ooh, I think we're through some of that. Like it sounded like you've gotten through the worst of that stretch,
Feel good
which is
today.
very exciting. Yeah, it can be easy to like kind of get frustrated and give up during that too. And you never did, which I was so proud of you. Like even when you had those worst days, you still were like, all right, I'm gonna keep working on it and had a good attitude about it. So yeah, so just a very exciting time overall, a lot of growth, a lot of new challenges. And I think you're ready for all of them. I think that it's come at a really good pace and also a good time. I think, you're at a really good age for your voice to really be kind of coming into its own and its fullness. And so, yeah, I think it's just a very exciting time. So I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed for you. All the good vibes. Keep up the good practice, and I will see you in February, okay?
Thank you so much. Bye.
Absolutely. It was great to see you. Bye, Anna.
Bye.